Hello, Southport Square residents. This is your Executive Director, Brian Hess, with another episode of Around the Square. So I'll give you an update on COVID and where we're at these days. So the state of Florida right now on the Department of Health website is reporting a 5.6% positivity rate. So it is like really coming down very quick, which is excellent to hear. Charlotte County is a little bit higher at 8.6%, but still under that 10% mark, so moving in the right direction. When I look at the CDC website, so the CDC does their rating of the whole nation and kind of where everybody's at by county, and so their rating is a little different. They pull the statistics a little differently of how they report it. They are still showing Charlotte County as red, which is a high level of community transmission. And so they were roughly about 10% positivity in Charlotte County. So the state of Florida Department of Health is showing 8.6%. The CDC is showing about 10%. So we're probably in that 8 to 10% range right now. And again, they're different timeframes that they look at. But it was kind of interesting. I was looking at the CDC's website a little bit further, and just to kind of give you an idea, because we always talk about positivity rates, and it's like, well, what does positivity rate mean? It's just a number of tests and how many people tested positive. So for this past week on the CDC's website, they said that there were 300 new cases of COVID-19 in Charlotte County. So 300 new cases. There were 32 deaths that were associated with COVID and 34 new hospital admissions that were COVID related admissions. So that just kind of gives you an idea of the 8 to 10% positivity range. That's the numbers that kind of go along with that. So roughly 300 cases, 32 deaths, and 34 hospitalizations. So I thought that was just kind of interesting to see. The other interesting thing that I found was that the CDC also is stating that there are a little over 66% of the Charlotte County population of anybody 5 years and older that are able to receive a vaccine have been fully vaccinated. So that's a pretty high number at 66 plus percent. That's including all the kids 5 plus. So if you take out the kids from like that 5 to 12-year-old range, it's probably a much higher number within Charlotte County, which is what I've seen in the past. But with the kids, because there just hasn't been a high acceptance rate of kids getting vaccinated since it's been opened up to the kids. So that's a little bit about kind of what's going on in our state and in our county. And right here on our Southport Square campus, so we have currently no associates that are COVID positive, so that's excellent news. We do have 1 assisted living resident and 2 skilled nursing residents that are COVID positive currently. And those have come into play within the last week or so. So we'll see those kind of on our statistics for about a week, and we're hopeful that we can clear those and be back to a COVID-free campus. So we'll continue to work on, kind of just keeping everybody safe here in our community. There's been a lot of talks still about masks and whether we're, keeping masks, getting rid of masks, where are we going with this? And so currently right now in the independent living for residents, it is your choice whether you want to wear a mask or not. It is not required. And so our staff are still required to wear masks while they are here working in our buildings. So they will be, hopefully you will see all of our staff members in masks. If not, please, let somebody know, myself or their direct supervisor, or you can speak with them directly. But we should still all be in masks at this point from an employee standpoint. And we'll continue to kind of watch the numbers and the statistics. And at some point, if we get to a level where the community transmission is low enough, then we might be discussing, masks in the independent living buildings as well for staff members. So until that time, it's really your choice as a resident whether you'd like to wear one or not, and kind of what your safety feel is or how you feel from a safety standpoint. So a couple of other items I just wanted to update you on, some things that were happening around the campus, some projects that are still in the works and kind of where we are. So the key fobs to the exterior doors. So I know many of you have seen those key fob readers they've been put in place. They are functioning, so we actually have some key fobs that are working now, that are staff key fobs that function now. So we've been able to work with the vendor. We got the software. They were able to fix the software to accommodate for our new system and our new structure and setup. Angela has been working very hard. I know you got to see her last week on Around the Square and kind of running through sort of the steps of the new fob system, but she is working very hard on actively programming the new key fobs for our residents. And as soon as we have those programmed and ready to go, we will roll those out. And we will probably do an exchange type process when we get to that point of being able to swap those out. So our goal is that once we get several resident key fobs programmed, we'll test them out, make sure that they work, and then we'll start rolling that out to the masses. We'll also have an update on our pool and locker rooms, so the pool resurfacing and the decking in the pool area, as well as the locker rooms getting completed. So that is scheduled to start around April 12th. That's our game plan. The company feels that they will have the pavers in by then for the pool decking. Right now, the company is looking at a little bit longer period than we initially anticipated of the pool being down. And so right now they are anticipating that that pool could be down for as long as 6 weeks. Their target is that they can get it done before that, but it could be a full 6 weeks that they have, depending on how many challenges or issues they run into. So as we kind of work through that, we are going to work very hard, diligently to make sure that they stay on track, that we remove as many obstacles as possible for them, and see if we can get that pool wrapped up in a 4-week period as opposed to a 6-week period. So as we work through that, we'll make sure we have communication going out to y'all as residents as to their exact start date and what that's going to look like for you all, and how long the pool will be closed for. Also, we had mentioned previously the shuffleboard courts were going to be resurfaced. That is still in the works. The vendor was supposed to be out by the end of February, but they have not been out yet to do that. And so we are working very closely with that vendor to get them back on task and make sure that they are out here within the next couple of weeks to get that finalized and completed. But that will be the resurfacing of the shuffleboard courts. So for those of you that have been out there, there's been some cracks and some, kind of cement that's a little off and causes some challenges when you're trying to slide a disc smoothly down that court. So as we work through that, we'll be working very diligently to get the vendor in here and get that completed. Our dock out front by the sales center, so our 60-foot dock that will be installed, they were supposed to start the first week in March, which is this week currently. And so they are a little bit delayed, but they are hopeful that we'll be having them out within the next week and started on that dock work, that dock project. They do have all of the items and the materials are here and ready to go. They just have to actually get the labor in place and start working through that. So as you'll see over the next several weeks, it will probably be a 4 to 6 week project that they're actively working on the dock. So please, just as you're out and about, maybe walking in the mornings and things like that, please just be aware of that area, that there will be some heavy equipment out there for quite some time working on that dock. The gutters in the village area, so y'all have probably seen the company that's been out there working on installing some new gutters in our village area. A lot of those were put in place to help with drainage through that village area and to stop kind of some of the landscaping washout that we were seeing, as well as to hopefully channel water away from the buildings. So the gutter work has been completed in that village area, so they should be wrapped up. You won't see those folks working in the village area anymore. And I'm hopeful that after our first couple of rains, we're going to see some significant improvements as far as the drainage on our campus through there. Also, if you saw some folks working at the end of D-Wing with a backhoe and digging into the ground, the end of D-Wing in Gables West, that was some irrigation leaks. Every once in a while we have underground leaks that occur, and we have to kind of locate and resolve those systems or those issues. So we did have an irrigation leak that was with our sprinkler system, and it was leaking underground, so they had to dig that up and repair it. So that's
I
what
did
that
not
work was
cover
being done.
that on Around the Square.
All right.
It was too dirty.
Okay, too
I
dirty.
had really
All right.
good shoes on.
Well, there you go. So you will not see that video on Around the Square because Dawn didn't want to get her shoes dirty. But they did some work out there. It's getting recovered and replaced and should be wrapped up here very soon. So those are kind of the items that are happening around our campus. One last note, we're getting a little bit closer with a company called Blue Team that was here to do some of our repairs on our roofs from the storm that took place at the end of December. We have been working with them very closely, and we've selected the new color for the shingles that will be going on our roofs, but they will be working to replace the shingle roofs on all 3 of our residential buildings, so Gables East, Gables West, and our Harbor Health Center building. So that's going to be a pretty massive project undertaking as they work through that. As we get a little bit closer, they are ordering all the items. Again, there is lead times ahead of that, as well as getting their labor force scheduled to be here. So as we get a little bit closer or further down the road here, we'll definitely let you know when that work is going to commence. In the meantime, I know everybody has probably seen the miscolored shingles on the roofs where they've done some patchwork. So they essentially have just made sure that our roofs will be dry if it rains. And so as soon as we get the new shingles in place and the labor set up and ready to go, we will be replacing those roofs with brand new roofs out there. And the color will be the same as what we have on the roofs currently. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this episode of Around the Square.
Glad everybody's here this morning. For anybody who couldn't make it, we're going to have it on in-house television. So this is Diane, and she's through Charlotte County. And I've actually been working with her for many, many years on this Red Dot program here on our campus. She's here to give us some information about it. We're going to talk about how it's utilized and the importance of it here in the independent setting. And then I'm going to talk about an add-on program that we're going to roll out, and then we'll do some questions and answers, okay?
This program, the Red Dot program, was initialized by the fire department. But since we dispatch for the fire department at the Sheriff's Dispatch Center, it was a joint partnership that we take over putting it into the CAD system, which is the computer-aided dispatch system that tells which units to respond and gives all the information. Comes with a packet, which you'll receive from them, an envelope, and they're gonna put a stamp on it. That way it encourages you to mail it in once you're done. So we give you the envelope, and it comes right back to the sheriff's office. It comes with a form. This is a 2-ply copy. It is critical that you press completely through. And when you check and give us the yellow copy, that everything is legible. The reason being is if we need to contact your next of kin, for some reason something happened from here to the hospital, the EMS will call us and ask the dispatchers to look up the form and contact your next of kin. Yes, it helps out them here. They probably already have that information, but this is to be used by the hospital and the personnel that takes you to the hospital. And the dispatchers are the ones that help them. So if they can't read it, it's no good to them. This form will have a place for 2 people. So you fill out one column for yourself and one column if there's another person living with you. You'll put your name, your doctor's information, any critical, they have like 15 questions that are critical that is useful to the EMS. And then you can put your medication on this form. But what I recommend and what we're telling people is that you, in the medication and supplement area, just mark C attached form. And then write a separate list and put that in your pouch because your medication always changes. That way you don't have to change the whole form and redo the whole form. You just do a medication list. The program also comes with a pouch. This is your Red Dot pouch. This is what you fold up your copy, which is the white copy. The white copy is what the fire department, if they need to, they don't always take it because they don't always need it. So don't get upset if they don't take it. It's there if they need to take it.
Well, hello everyone. I'm here with Jerry Faith. Hi, Jerry.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Dawn.
Hi. Now, Jerry, your resident services, you presented a guest speaker this past week and she was from the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office dispatch unit. And she discussed a little bit about the Red Dot program. Now, that program will be aired later this week. Well, when the residents see this, it'll be the following week.
Okay.
On channel 195. So they'll be able to see that in its entirety. But during that presentation, you announced that you're going to be starting a Red Folder program as well as the Red Dot program. So can you just, we all pretty much get the gist of what the Red Dot program is, but let's just talk about this Red Folder program that you're launching.
Okay. All right. So yes, we did have Diane from Charlotte County, and she went over the Red Dot and the importance of it, and some points about what it is. I will say one thing about the Red Dot form. This is to reiterate, because this is very important. The section here for medications, most people have more medications than there are lines.
Right.
And she has recommended that you have a separate medication list because there's not enough room here.
Right, and also because the medications may change more often than the general information. So if they were to, when they fill that form out, they have their list of medications separate, just attach it to it. But in that section, write see attached.
Yep.
Okay.
And so when this is completed, one copy goes to the county, the other one goes in here. And you can have the med list folded up in there, and then the magnet that goes on your fridge.
Awesome.
And myself and anybody who works for EMS know to automatically look at the refrigerator to see if you participate, because they're going to look for that information.
And she reiterated how important it was to write legibly and clear.
Very much.
Then you volunteered, because we know some people have, you know, a situation where they can't write or press down as clear. So you volunteered your team to help them with that if need be. As long as they provide you with the information, you can help them fill it out.
That's correct.
Okay, so that's good.
And Debbie Link is pretty much over all the Red Dot stuff here on campus.
Okay.
And Debbie's at extension 290. And so we're taking this to the next level. So we have the Red Dot program. And we have come up with what we are calling our Red Folder program, okay? And this is for anybody who wants to participate. We're going to provide this folder, and we ask that if you would like to provide and have this in a handy place, you can place copies of a Do Not Resuscitate, copies of your Power of Attorney, copies of your healthcare surrogate paperwork, or copies of your living will. I can't enforce enough copies. Okay?
Don't put originals.
These are not for your originals. Your originals you can keep wherever. I'm going to share just some experiences I've had over the years and the reasons why I feel that this is a very good idea, and having everything in one place. So we're asking people to make copies. And then we want this placed on top of the refrigerator.
I like your demonstration of how high that.
So if,
we all know that refrigerator.
I can't reach the top, but on top of the refrigerator.
We all know that refrigerator is not that high.
So just think about the logic of this. You've got the magnet on the refrigerator, where we know where the sheet is with some basic medical information. And if we need any of this information from these items, now we're
right
not
in
looking
the same
around.
Location, right?
Okay, and part of the reason that I feel this is important, let's say you go to the hospital and they say that you've told them that you have a living will of the things you do or don't want, but where is it? And they say that you tell me, oh, it's in my filing cabinet. So now I have to go through a filing cabinet, and if your filing cabinet's like everybody else's filing cabinet in there, it's a lot of stuff over in there from a long time.
Right, so let's go back to that. So how would you know? So if a resident went out 911, EMS would take that red dot. Right, they would take that with them. They don't know about the red folder.
So no.
Okay, so then when they get to the hospital, and then they ask for all of those things, and the resident's going, well, call Jerry.
She'll
Okay.
find it.
Call Jerry.
Right.
She'll find it. It's
Right.
it's on top of my fridge.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. I just
So-
want to make sure that's how they know.
And so there is a part on the red dot where there are some yes, no questions about these exact things.
Okay.
Okay? So, not every situation where somebody's going to go to the hospital is there going to be a need for any of these items. But in the situations where they are needed, they're usually pretty serious situations.
Right.
I mean, if you have a do not resuscitate form, which means you don't want, CPR, you don't want extra things done, that is a physician's order. And no healthcare medical professional can abide by that unless they visually see it. So let's say...
So it can't be verbal.
It's not verbal. They can't call me and me go, oh yeah, I've seen their DNR. That means nothing.
Okay.
I can't call your doctor and your doctor say, yeah, we filled one out. If I don't see it, I have to initiate CPR. And that is the same whatever medical environment you're in.
Right.
Okay? So here's the key, folks. Get a living will and a DNR confused. A living will is some verbiage of things like, would I want a feeding tube? Would I want IVs? And they're basically yes or no questions. A do not resuscitate is you do not want life-saving steps taken. If it just happens, it happens. And they don't want intervention. Okay? It's a big difference. So how you're going to know if you have this DNR from your doctor is the DNR is always on yellow paper.
So it's always on goldenrod.
Always on goldenrod. And some is just yellow, but we are going to include one sheet in this folder that we put in your in-house mailbox, and this will be to copy a DNR, a do not resuscitate order. Okay? That's what this gold piece of paper is going to be for that's in the folder.
Gotcha.
Okay? Because if you copy your DNR on a white piece of paper, it's no good.
Really? It's no good here or just in general itself?
It's
That's
not
where it's
on-
supposed to be?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So when they get those are automatically yellow.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so in order
Yes.
to photocopy them, they have to be on yellow.
That's why we're
Okay.
providing that, okay?
I better order some yellow paper.
Yeah. We ordered it when we ordered these, remember?
Yeah, okay, so you have the extra? All right,
Yeah.
good. All right, good.
So we're going to put one sheet in each folder,
Mm-hmm.
so then everybody can make one copy. And then that way you have your original, here's a copy of it, and any copies of any of these things that you would want to provide. This folder's totally voluntary. If you don't want to provide these things and place it on top of the refrigerator, you don't have to. Other scenarios where if you've went to the hospital and they send you over to rehab, one of the questions at rehab is going to be, do you have a DNR? And if you say yes, they're going to email me and say, hey, so-and-so says they have a DNR. Can you go get it? I can, and I kind of look in some obvious places, but like I'm not going to do like a shakedown of an apartment
Right,
to
right.
look for paperwork.
And some residents have multiple file cabinets or areas
Yes.
that they keep
Yes.
all of their documents
Yes.
on, and that's not right. That's not
Right.
fair to you or to them.
Well,
You're
there's
trying to
just-
help them, and you need to know exactly where
Right.
this information is.
Right.
So,
So if I go in and this is on top of the refrigerator and there's a copy there it is.
awesome.
And I'll walk it right over there.
Awesome. Now, you initiated this. This isn't something that has been around or anything. You just used that noodle of yours and you came up with this.
Yep.
And I think it's wonderful
Yeah.
because we do talk, we touch on this subject quite often whenever I sit down and interview with you, how important these documents are, and don't wait until
Right.
it's not,
Right.
you're incoherent or anything
Right.
like that. Get
Right.
these done now.
Well, when you
It's-
need these, it's usually a critical situation or not a situation to be trying to explain, or I might get a call from one of your children saying, I know my mom, I know I'm the healthcare surrogate for my mom, but she never gave me the copy of it.
Right, and at least we have it here.
And if if I can't find it or we don't have it, we have no proof of that.
Right.
So, I'm not saying that if you don't have this, I won't make an attempt to find A, B, or C. But this makes it easier. It's more convenient for everybody.
Right.
And if, heaven forbid, it's a really medical crisis situation and people want to follow your wishes, but we don't know what they are, we do what we have to do.
Right.
So only copies in this folder. Keep your originals wherever you feel is important. Just remember, when 911 comes, the 911 folks usually take the copy of this that we provide. So you might have to come back and we might have to do a new one, which is okay. This won't go with the EMTs. This is really for our in-house abilities. So this isn't going with the EMTs, okay? But if the hospital needs any of this information, I will have easy access to it.
Right, and then you can forward it off to them however
Correct.
way
Correct.
it is. Okay, so let's go back over before we end.
Okay.
What exactly is in that folder again that you would like to see in that folder?
All right, so we have a little sticker on here that gives you a little prompt, but we're suggesting a copy of a DNR, which will be,
On the goldenrod. Yep.
there you go, yeah, you're getting it, and any copies of a power of attorney, durable power of attorney, healthcare surrogate, living will, and I've had in the past some people who have told me that you might want to put your funeral burial copies of your paperwork here. I've had a couple of people that have told me that they have donated their brain to science, and that's like a special program and special instructions have to be followed. That this would be a good place for a copy of those things. So just kind of some maybe left field things, but I haven't encountered those over the years, and this would be a great place. And there's probably folks that are going to watch this and go, yeah, Jerry, I've told you that. Well, you know what? I probably don't remember specifically who told me that. So
Right.
this is an easy place to look for items like that, and just to make sure that we're taking good care of you and following your wishes.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you, Jerry.
You're welcome.
You're always so helpful.
Oh, wow.
Always so helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Say thank you, everybody.
These beautiful creatures here.
You're such a kidder.
Wow, we have Mari Bolin. You look absolutely stunning. And look at Curry. Curry, you look so handsome.
Thank you.
Wow, are you waiting tables, you two?
Yes, I am. I'm about to seat everyone now.
So you two are going to be the king and queen of Mardi Gras. Are you excited?
Oh,
Yeah, but
so much.
Curry's the double king.
He's the double
Do
king.
you know why?
Why?
Tell her why, Curry.
Today's my birthday.
Happy birthday, Curry!
Thank you.
Oh, I can't wait to embarrass you out there. And Mari, you're from New Orleans, right? Are
Well,
you-
I'm not there, but my home and heart are there.
Right, right. So this means a lot to you, huh?
Yeah, I lived there before Katrina.
Oh, wow. Well, enjoy today.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I am so honored to be in this, presence of royalty here.
Well, thank
So-
you. And it's good that Friday finally made it.
Yes,
You have
and-
a good weekend.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.
Oh, I have a song for you.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is going to be good.
This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. That's it.
Good. Thanks, Don.
You're welcome. Curry, you went from a maitre d' 2 minutes ago to a king.
Yes, I did. And
Wow.
be very kind to me or I will turn you into a pretty frog.
Rivet, rivet. And look at you, Mari. Stunning. You guys look so nice.
Thank you.
And is this the first time for both of you being in a Mardi Gras king and queen?
Well, I've been
Oh,
in
yeah.
Mardi Gras, but I've never.
Yeah, but never as the
Never.
queen, right? Or never as a
Right,
king?
No, never.
It's your first time as a king, huh?
Yeah, first time.
All right. Well, I'm excited for you.
Thanks.
You'll have a good
If you're
reign.
good, I'll give you the whole province of Arcadia.
Oh, gee, thanks. Gee, thanks.
Hey, when those saints go marching in. Hey, when those saints go marching in. How I wanna be in that number. When those saints go marching in. Hey, when that sun begins to shine. When that sun begins to shine. I will always wanna be in that number when that sun begins.
Wanda, you're glowing. You're glowing.
It's the only party looking thing I thought I
Looks
had.
nice. Boy, packed house here today. Packed house.
Hey, is it you?
You just look fantastic.
Goodwill.
Goodwill, huh?
Goodwill. Yes.
Oh, look at you too. Oh, how decked out you are.
What do I get? Your kisses are
Yay!
I know which one.
Thank you.
Hey, I said to John. Birthday, dear Jane. Happy birthday to you.
Now we'll start with our little journey through Ireland, Scotland, Wales, England. You don't need your passports. So I want to start, remember I showed you that harp a few minutes ago, Brian Veru's harp. They actually wrote the gentleman a song, and it sounds a little bit like a jig. It's called Brian Veru's March, and if you're tempted to tap your toes, clap your hands, whatever you'd like, if someone wants to get up and dance the jig, it's okay. Anyway, Brian Veru. Clap your hands if you want. lot of streets that they close off, kind of pedestrian malls, where they have musicians and artists, marvelous things. And they really, what you guys teach, I think children learn to play an instrument when they're wee high, right? They're this high, because I see kids with concertinas and fiddles and banjos, and they're this big playing in the streets. I think every taxi driver belongs to a band, right? Just about. Anyway, so this is about a piper from the town of Galway. Now in Ireland, they play a different kind of pipe than in Scotland, because you don't blow into it. It's more of a bellows. You play it by hand.
Uilleann pipe.
What is it called?
Uilleann.
Uilleann?
Uilleann. U-I-L-E-A-N-N.
Say it again. Spell it again, please.
U-I-L-E-A-N-N. Pronounced Uilleann.
Uilleann pipe. Okay, very cool. I'm learning some stuff today. I love it. This is called the Galway pipe. Galway pipe. Most people know about the little white flowers that grow in Austria in the springtime. It's also a waltz, of course. Yeah.
Take a second to appreciate how amazing this piece of needlepoint is. The reflection of the water, everything, it is so beautiful. Another creation by Wanda Bell. Wow, so pretty. Again, she puts these out every week or every couple of weeks if you are out and about and enjoy looking at different artworks. Gables West Lobby, Wanda Bell. All right, everyone, I'm here with Don Baldwin again. And Don, today you made something else. What is this?
It's Alcoholic Anonymous Reef.
An Alcoholic Anonymous wreath. I like that. So you have this rounded, what'd you do? Piece together a bunch of blocks of wood? Turn it around?
Yeah.
Turn it
sorta.
around?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
You see
All
the
right,
back
so you
of
put,
it?
yeah, look at that. That's nice workmanship. And then on the front, you put corks.
Yeah.
And so it can hold notes. It could hold, you can use it for all kinds of stuff, really. Christmas card display.
But these are all corks from wine bottles.
Yeah, I see that. Boy, what an accomplishment. You got some of those. So your drunken wreath. Now,
Yeah.
where are
Okay,
you
that's
put,
another name
yeah,
for
your
it.
drunken wreath.
Drunken
now,
wreath.
where are you hanging it?
It's going in the bar.
Oh, well, it's an appropriate place for it.
Lounge up on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
third floor.
Yeah, and that'll work good as like one. It's a cute piece of art, but you can also use it for cork board. You can hang up pictures and stuff on there.
Yeah, they have
A clock.
well, no, St. Patty's Day.
Oh
for
yeah, they can put
different
St.
occasions
Patty's
they're
Day.
gonna
Yeah.
put in the middle.
Oh, very
I
nice.
guess that's their idea.
Yeah. Well, that is a very nice drunken wreath. I love it. Thanks for
Okay.
sharing.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Around the Square, and I hope you have an excellent week.
Hey, Brian, got a doozy for you.
All right, I hope it's a good one this week, Dawn. They've
That's-
been pretty lackluster the last several weeks.
This one's going to be horrible. You know it. I don't want to surprise you with a good one.
All right, all right.
All right. What do you call a cow that can play an instrument?
I have no idea.
A musician.
Musician. I got it. I thought it was going to have something to do with the Chick-fil-A cows. I don't know. I'm so off on that. All right.
I also have a secondary one.
Oh, all right.
Hold
well, let's
on,
hear a
because
secondary
you know
joke.
there was a harpist here
Oh, that's right.
today,
Yeah.
and it's not really a joke, just an observation.
Okay.
Did you know that a harp looks surprisingly like a naked piano?
I could see that. Absolutely. All right. So what do you call a naked piano?
A harp.
Ah, there you go.
There you
See?
go.
All
See,
right.
we made it
We
into
made
a
a joke up. All right. So now, if our first one wasn't bad enough, the second one hopefully did it for you.
We could tell it to move over.
Well, this is true. Move over for a good joke, a better joke.
A better joke.
Well, have a great week, everybody. Enjoy.
Harp you later.